What is the process of actually buying property here in Puerto Vallarta? This is something that I want to take a minute to clarify because although the process is similar to that in the States and Canada, there are many things that are very, very different. And I'll also add that not every transaction is the same. So, for example, yes, everything starts with an offer. One difference is that here in Mexico, you usually do your due diligence before you make your deposit, which is here is 10%. Whereas in the States, you typically make an offer and within a few days you make a deposit before you do your due diligence. Here, it's the opposite. And also, the process is different when you're dealing with somebody who is an individual that's selling it or whether the seller is selling through a trust. The process may be slightly different. Additionally, if the property you're purchasing has an existing mortgage, then that process will also be completely different. Additionally, if you're paying cash or obtaining a mortgage, then the process will also be different. So not every transaction is the same, but to give you a rough idea, as mentioned, you make your offer. Once it's accepted, you start your period of due diligence. After due diligence is done, then you make your 10% deposit. After your deposit, then the process begins. And this entire time, we actually work with a notary, which here in Mexico, they're the equivalent of an attorney because they have to pass the equivalent of a bar exam. The notaries are the ones that are in charge of transferring title. So there is no title agents here per se. We do work with an escrow company that will hold the deposit, but typically that deposit is not held in a title company per se, like we do in the States. We also work with an attorney who will handle the transaction to make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. About 4 days before closing, that's when the remainder of the balance is paid, the remainder 90%. So whether you're obtaining a loan, then that's when that's due, or when you're paying cash, then 4 days before closing is typically when you pay the remainder. Then the closing happens, you sign paperwork, and you get the keys to your new property. So again, not every transaction is the same. Every transaction is going to be different. And this is why it's very important to work with a professional real estate agent who knows the process, who knows what they're doing, who has the right connections to work with the right people. So if you want to know more about buying property here in Puerto Vallarta, then send me a message and I look forward to hearing from you.